What's happening, everybody? If you're watching this video, you're looking to get better in sales. And I'm gonna teach you 3 different perspectives, 3 different stories that are gonna help you do that exact thing, guys. If you can master these 3 stories, if you can master the concepts behind them and put in the daily actions, I promise you're gonna be able to master sales and make a bunch of money. We're gonna jump right into it here. Number 1, guys, my favorite stories of sales. Number 1 is the toaster. All right, guys, let me ask you a question. When you put toast in the toaster and you push the little button that pushes the toast into the toaster and you wait a little while, what happens? Toast pops up. That's exactly right. Toast pops up. And so what happens is you have an expectation of what's happening inside that toaster every single time you put the bread in. And you know that you have the setting change on the toaster to be exactly what you want it to be, which means that, boom, there's an expectation that when I put this toast in, I push this button down, this is exactly how golden brown and crispy and crunchy my toast is gonna be because that's how I like it cooked. So what does that mean for sales? It means if we can make sales so predictable to where it's the same thing as you know your inputs are gonna get you this amount of outputs, and then you can just plug and play if you wanna make more money. If you got a busier week, you can pull off some of that stuff and you can predict how much money you're gonna make, your life will change. So check this out. If I know that, let's just say that if I'm in insurance, right, and I'm in sales, and I know that I gotta make, let's just say 200, or let's say I gotta make 175 phone calls a day, which then gets me to set 6 appointments, so 6 appointments, and then I know that I close 50% of those no matter what. Check this out. Now I know that I'm gonna get 3 sales, which in insurance, our average annual premium is gonna be per sale about $2,000, so that's gonna be $6,000 in premium. So an average agent might make actually $5,000-ish in commissions, right? Wow, man, what a great formula to become successful, okay? I know that every single day, if I just put these inputs in and I do the work and I do the closing properly, then I'm gonna get this output. I'm gonna make $5,000. Great. Now you know your inputs. You got your bread, you got your little button. Push that thing down every single day, man. Know your inputs, know your outputs. This is your output. This is your crunchy piece of toast right here. This is your fluffy piece of bread up here that you need to then push down with the button. And again, once sales gets predictable, sales gets really, really fun. Okay, so that's story number 1, guys. Know your inputs, know your outputs. Track all your numbers, track what you do all day long so you can start to create your own toaster. You wanna make toast every day, baby. That's what we say. We wanna make toast. You gotta make toast every single day. Okay, second story is a baseball story. Now, guys, if you guys know me, if you're at Real Financial, then you know that I tell these stories all the time, so much to the point where my team actually created a shirt for me that has a piece of has a toaster on it, a baseball, and some bamboo on it. And we always say, toast equals money ball, baby. So this is the second story that I love, guys, the baseball story. Guys, think about this. MLB baseball players, they bat. What is their average batting percentage? It's like 30%. 30%. So if I go up to bat 10 times, okay, and I go up to bat 10 times, and I'm in the MLB, and I'm like an all-star baseball player, that means that 7 times I get out. 7 out of 10 times I'm gonna get out. And that means that 3 times I get on base and I have a hit. I accomplish the goal 30% of the time. MLB baseball players, some of the best, even the all-stars, have a 3 out of 10 hitting ratio. But every single time they have the attitude when they walk up to the plate that, boom, I'm gonna get up there and I'm gonna crush it. I'm gonna hit a home run. I'm gonna get on base. And 70% of the time they don't. They fail most of the time for what most of us perceive failing to be. But if I could just change my perspective in sales to know that, hey, maybe a 50% closing ratio isn't that bad. Maybe a 70% or a 30% closing ratio isn't actually that bad. Well, guys, think about this. If I could go into the day every single day and be okay with getting rejected like MLB baseball players 7 out of 10 times, I would just make as many presentations as possible and I would crush it, kill it, make a ton of money. But the problem is most salespeople and a lot of salespeople in general, most people in general, we're just not okay with being rejected. But if you can just get used to that, just like MLB baseball players do, how they are so used to getting out every single time, they don't let it affect them. They're going up to the next at-bat, getting ready to hit the ball, even when they just got out the last 7 times out of 10 at-bats. So you got to get comfortable with being told no. You got to get comfortable with getting people, kind of not interested to interested. You got to get comfortable with that difference, right? I'm going to give you another example. In school, when I was in high school and college, everybody was trying to get a 90. Everybody was trying to get 100 on exams and tests. That was what you want your final grade to be. We got to change our perception. Sales is not high school math, right? So if I'm in math class, I'm shooting for that 100. And so my brain now thinks that if my closing ratio is 30%, I'm doing horrible. Oh no. But really, if I close 30%, I still get paid. I make money. I get a positive ROI. So change your perspective. It's not about shooting for the 90 out of 100 like we used to in school. It's actually, hey, let's think like a baseball player, man. These guys are getting on base 30% of the time. They get out 7 out of 10 times. Man, I got to think like an MLB baseball player, man. 30%. Okay, cool. Change your perspective. Success is not what it used to be in high school and math and all these different things. We're not shooting for the 90%. If you can close at a 90% for most industries out there, you are a pro. You're a killer, okay? And for me, I close at about 50% on my appointments with clients that I have, and I make a ton of money from it. But know that, yeah, I could always close more. I can get better, but that still makes me a ton of money. And it's okay. I'm not failing because it's 50%. I'm actually doing great because it's 50%. And I think like an MLB baseball player, baby. All right, guys, so here's the third story. Third story is going to be about Jack and Jill. And so Jack and Jill, these two, they walk up a hill, and this time they're not just walking up a hill, they're going into the woods, they're going through the forest, and they are carrying buckets of water, okay? So they got Jack right here, right? And then we got Jill over here. And so Jack and Jill, they are both walking through the forest, carrying their buckets of water, and these two live in a hut that's over here in a town over here, and they got to walk 2 miles, okay, 2 miles over to get the water from the river, and they have they eat with it, they cook with it, they clean with it. And so these two, they got to walk down this path. It's going to be 2 miles long, and they're going here, and then they're turning right around, and they're walking all the way back, right? So Jack goes all the way down to the river every single day for 2 full years, and Jack grabs a big bucket of water, and he walks his way all the way back to the village every single day for 2 years because he's not smart, and he's not thinking ahead. He just does that. That's it. Jill, on the other hand, smart cookie that she is, she walks down to the river, and as she grabs her big bucket of water so her family can cook, clean, eat, do whatever they need to with that water, she's going to grab 1 stick of bamboo. And Jill, for 2 straight years, every single day, she doesn't do it all overnight. She's not trying to do this in one big sweep, but for 2 years, she thinks small steps, long vision. What's going to pay off down the road? So she grabs 1 stick of bamboo, and Jill now lays a pipe of bamboo here, pipe bamboo here, pipe bamboo, pipe bamboo. So for 2 full years, she stacks up all these pipes of bamboo. And soon, Jill has built this giant pipe that now brings her water. So the water from the river runs, and 2 years later, Jill has this pipe of bamboo sticks because every single day, she lays one right here next to her village, and then the next one next to that one, and then she walks all the way back and places the next one there. So she does this for 2 years. So in 2 years, Jill is not now having to walk all the way to the river to grab all of that water and walk back like Jack is. Jack is stuck walking back and forth. Now here's the comparison in business. Are you in a position right now, in a place right now, where you're left having to do all of the day-to-day work yourself? You're not thinking ahead. You're not working on anything that's compounding and going to grow in the future. Guys, build relationships with people. You'll get referrals from that, right? Don't go hardcore closing everybody and piss a bunch of people off. Make friends with people. Build relationships, right? Are you working on only selling every single day, or are you trying to build a team as well? Because down the road in 3, 4, 5 years, it's not going to happen overnight because you just decided to make it happen. You got to stack this stuff up over time. Right? Are you working on things that are compounding? Are you doing things that are going to benefit you 3, 4, 5 years out? Think farther into the future, not just about today and your paycheck right now. You got to do things that are going to help you and benefit you way down the road. So don't think like Jack. Don't go all in right now. Hey, I'm just going to race up there. I'm going to grab my bucket of water. I'm going to run all the way back, and I'm good for the day. No, don't just go make your sales calls and go try to close people and do what you got to do for today just to get your paycheck and try to scrape all the money and squeeze and wring out all the money from all the people that you know. No, man, build those people up. Build those relationships. Help those people. Maybe recruit 1 person a day. Recruit 1 person a day to your sales organization for 365 days. That's 365 people. You didn't do it all overnight, but you did 1 a day. You did small steps. long vision, and you're thinking so far out in the future because you're just looking to do things that are going to compound and grow for you down the road. So be like Jill, not like Jack. Grab one stick of bamboo, do some things that are going to start to help you down the road that 2, 3, 4, 5 years later, you're going to have some benefit. You're going to get some time back. Maybe you're going to make some more money because of it. You don't think all about today. Okay. But like, if you got to make money today, like by all means, like go out there, like close deals, like do what you got to do. I was in that boat, at one point, and I worked on the things that are actually going to be benefiting me long-term. And that's why I'm making content and I do the things that I do today. And I have a huge sales organization, writing a ton of business now, and I'm helping a bunch of other people make money. It's not just all about me. So guys, number one, of course, build your toaster, figure out what your toaster is, track all your numbers, figure out what the toaster is, build your toaster. Guys, think like an MLB baseball player. If you're closing at whatever percentage you're closing, try to always increase it, get better, but like realize that don't get upset with your numbers because you're not getting a 90 out of 10. Be okay with having people tell you no. Be okay with the rejection. It's totally normal. It's totally cool, especially in sales. Create a new success ratio, right? 50% might be your success ratio. Cool. I'm going to treat everybody the same, try to close them all. But I know that when people say no, it's just the statistics, baby. Don't worry about it. And number three, of course, think like Jill. Don't make sure you're thinking far out in the future. Don't just think about today. And start to build something up for yourself, guys. And I promise you, if you can follow these three points, if you can follow these 3 points, you will master sales, and you will make more money than you know what to do with, guys. Obviously, I work at Real Financial. I'm building a sales organization. I've sold insurance, and I use these things and I teach these principles so much, like I said earlier, to the point where my team has literally made me a shirt that has toast equals Moneyball, and we talk about these 3 stories, and we live these 3 stories, and we breathe these 3 stories, and we build sales killers, guys. If you're not in sales and you're trying to get into sales, we'll leave a link up here. Go to realfinancial.com, join us, check us out. We're killing it, crushing it, having a lot of fun with it, guys. We'll see you in the next video.